In this video, I'm going to see how many different species of fish I can catch in a full day's fishing at the pier. So the sun is just starting to rise. So I'll get my rod ready and we'll go target the first species. Let's get into it. All right, everyone. So I've just tied on my first lure of the morning. It's just going to be a little squid jig like that. So the tide has just turned. So I'm hoping that there's a few squid hanging around. And this is going to be the first species we'll try and knock off this morning. So what I'm going to do is just start here, make my way all the way along, and then keep doing that until we find them. I've got a good feeling we'll get at least one, and then we'll move on to the next species. Now, when the pier's quiet like this in the morning and there's no one squid fishing, usually there'll just be some squid waiting over their beds, and then when something comes over they like the look of, they'll shoot up and grab it. So that's the plan for this morning. We want a quick squid and then we'll move on to the next species. So a lot of people probably think, why do I use white jigs? That's because I think that the silhouette that the white jigs cast when the squid are looking up to it is probably better than any other jig in any other colour. That's just my personal opinion, but I just think that white jigs always work better. Now, I just got snagged, and look at that. That's the weed bed I'm talking about. This is the stuff which the squid live in and put their eggs in. So I'm hoping that there's some waiting for me right over that weed bed there. I mean, take a look at the morning, but I can't really argue with this either way. It's a beautiful morning. There's a little bit of wind pushing in from the north, but oh well, we'll keep going and we'll catch some fish. Got one. First species down. If I can get him up. Oh, he's only just on. Yes, that is the first species, but he's tiny. I'm gonna let him go. All right, so here he is. He's a baby little squid, but that's the first species down, southern calamari. So there we go, number one. Surprised he even grabbed that jig. Let's have a look at the size. Look at that, he's ambitious. Anyway, we'll put him back because he's very small. See you, buddy. Now, I did just catch a little one, but I kind of want one for bait a bit later on. So I'm going to keep squidding for about 15 more minutes, try get a bigger one, and then I'll put on a paternoster rig and we'll move on to some other species. There he is. He's just floating out there. Oh, there he is. He's going for it. No, he was big as well. That would have been sick. I sight casted him. Alright, so as you saw, we knocked off the first species, which was a squid. Got that fairly quickly, which is good. So I actually brought down some bait today just for this challenge. Usually don't bring bait to the piers, but I've got a little bait caster rod and I've got a little bit of squid on one of these rigs right here. So we have two hooks, so one up top and one down bottom. So the plan is going to be, I'm going to start on the weed, on the seaweed, and see what fish are hanging over the seaweed. I'm expecting some wrasse, maybe grass whiting, definitely toadies, but we'll see what else we can catch. And then a little bit later on, we'll move down to the sand and see what species are hanging over the sand. So should be a bit of fun and we'll see what we can catch. If you guys want to see more of these challenge videos where I go to different piers and see how many species I can catch, list the pier below and tell me which pier you want to see me do a video like this at, and hopefully I'll be able to catch some different species at different piers, and yeah, it might be a bit of fun. So if you have any suggestions, leave it below. Okay, so this whole area here is a massive weed bed, and all I'm going to do is look under the pier. So there's a pylon right here, so I'm just going to drop my bait right down next to this pylon. So it's on the bottom. We'll flick this over and straight away I had a bite. Got one. Oh, he got off. Straight away I'm getting bites. Instantly. So that tells me that there are fish down there. Now every now and again, bounce the bait up a little bit, just to give it a bit of movement and get the fish's attention. It's always good to move it around, so if you don't get a bite, just drop it back down. You'll eventually find the fish. Been a bit tough. Oh, a bite. Got him. We're on to one. He's going nuts. Oh, it's a King George whiting. You're kidding. Oh, this is unbelievable. Oh, it's a big whiting. Yes. You beauty. Yeah, that's a beautiful fish. You're kidding. I was not expecting that. Well, that's one way to start off the challenge. Look at that. That is a thumper King George whiting. You're kidding me. That's unbelievable. That's so cool. Was not expecting that. All right, guys. So if you're going to keep fish, just be responsible. So make sure you put them out of their misery first. So as you can see, obviously put him away. And then also carry a bag with ice. It's very important. Look after the fish. I hate seeing fish left out in the sun after people catch them. So just do the right thing. Bring a bag with some ice down and look after your fish. So that's what I'm going to do now. He's on the ice, so when I go eat him later, he's going to be perfect and he won't be all dried up. Now, if you guys would like to, you can subscribe to my channel for more videos and also follow me on Instagram if you'd like. So let's keep catching these fish and see if we can get any more species. Now, these whiting are actually a school fish. So when you get one, it's very possible there's 2 or 3 more down there with him. Or even more, there can be 10. So we'll give this spot a little bit more of a try, because if there's more like that, that's so good. It's a good feed. So I was actually planning to go down there later and fish the sandbank, because that's commonly where they're found. But this guy was on the seaweed. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain, but that's really cool. Okay, so as you can see at the moment, the tide is actually pumping out. So when it slows down a little bit later on, hopefully those people at the end will clear off and I'll set up a big rod and then we might get some bigger fish, hopefully. That's if I have enough bait, because I only bring 1 squid down here and we didn't get any squid big enough to use as bait before. So we could also run out of bait. That's also an option. Right next to that bridge, bite straight away. This might be a toadfish. Got him. It's a wrasse, another species. Alright, here we go. 3rd species. Okay, so this is the 3rd species, a wrasse. These are common, but look how pretty they are. So here we go. There's the wrasse. We'll get the release on him. So these guys hang out on the weed and they just eat the weed and anything else what comes in their way. Around piers, you usually get hundreds of these. These are everywhere. They're actually a really good gummy shark bait. So you actually notice that as soon as I put it down, I get bites when it's right near the pylon. But as soon as it drifts too far away, they won't eat it. And that's because that's their home, around that pylon. And as soon as it gets out of their home radius, they just don't eat it. Got one. Toadfish. Alright, well this is species number 4, but nothing good. Toady. Surprised it took me this long to get one. Toadfish. Alright everyone, so a quick update. It's been about 2 hours. The fishing has really slowed down. It's been tough. But in the next hour, the tide's going to turn. So I've come to the corner of the pier, and when the tide turns, I've bring a big rod down, and I've got it on a paternoster rig. So I'm going to put 2 bits of squid on it, and I'll show you that in a minute. And I'm going to chuck it out there, and we're just going to hope for something big. We're just going to hope for a big fish, because the little fish have been hard to get. I've got this little bait caster here, so I'm still trying for leather jackets and pinkies probably at this end of the pier. But yeah, fishing's really shut down. But the day is absolutely amazing though. Like, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better day though. That's going to be me soon enough. Out there on a kayak. I'm keen for that to happen. Alright guys, so this is going to be the end of the video. So we caught, I think, 4 or 5 species in the end. Not that many compared to what I thought I was going to get. I fished for 8 hours and I got 4 different species. So it's been a tough day, but if you want to see more of these videos, let me know. Chuck a like on the video if you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.